Hey, it's your boy Ng Gavin coming at you with another video, and this is a video on my update on my progress at Amazon. Now I'm getting a lot of people messaging me and leaving comments and saying, why haven't you done an update on Amazon? We want to see a progress report. And the reason why is, to be honest, there's really nothing to report. It's pretty much the same thing every month. But in this video, I'm going to give you insights on pretty much what, I've never seen anyone talk about certain things I'm going to talk about in this video, because you would only know them if you're actually doing Amazon Australia. And there's very limited videos on Amazon Australia on YouTube. So stick around. I want to tell you some things that I've discovered lately. So you don't want to go anywhere. So let's get to my computer and let's get into it. Hi guys, so I'm in my Amazon account. Like I said, I haven't done an update for a few months because there's really nothing to update. It's been pretty much just running by itself. It does get boring, okay? So unless you're launching new products all the time, then obviously you got a lot of work to do. But I've launched several products already, and I haven't launched any more products. So I've got all my stuff already in. And obviously I'm going to show you as much as I can. I'm not going to show you everything. I'm not going to show you my store or what the products are. I mean, that'd be ridiculous. But I'll try to be as transparent as I can. The information I'm giving to you, and if it is something that you want to start with, at least you have some sort of information to start off with. There's a lot of people out there that'll tell you stuff about Amazon Australia, and they don't even have an account. They don't even sell on Amazon Australia, so how are they ever going to know? Amazon Australia is a different marketplace to Amazon USA. It's totally different, all right? So I'm going to explain some things in this video. Hope you get some insights on it. So this is my today. I've got 2 items are sold. So if we go to month to date, so as you can see there, this is the month to date, $333.44. Just keep that in mind, okay? Which is basically like the 1st of December to the 3rd of December now, so 3 days. All right, so just keep that in mind. Also, keep in mind that my sales have gone up quite a bit because of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So this is not really like a full like an average month, but also if you look at it, the grand scheme of things, you really look at your business in on a yearly basis. So you've got to average out the good months and the bad months, and that's how you kind of figure it out. So if we go to year to date, this is I've sold 515 items. So as you can see, I'm not a big seller, okay? I'm just plodding along, doing my thing. I sold $8,019.20. The average item is 1.9, and average sales order is $15.57. Now these are all in Australian, okay? This is not USD, it's Australian. But if we go to, let's just go to custom date, and we'll go say November. Alright, I'll show you November. So November has been my biggest month. I did $2,681 and 77 cents. Average order is 1.29 and $19.29. The average order item. Now I do want to say though, you do get a lot of people that are buying they buy like multiple items, like they buy more quantity of the same item. So when you make your listing, like put I don't have unlimited because I don't want like other sellers coming and buying all my stock, but I just put like the quantity that you can order. I would put like either 2 or 3, because people are going to buy multiple items, and just consider that as well. This is basically just outlines the most important things that I've found so far in my journey on Amazon Australia. Keep in mind, Amazon Australia is totally different to Amazon USA, okay? They're just building. They just started, like, you know, the infrastructure is not there. They've only got 2 major warehouses in Victoria and Sydney, whereas Amazon USA has got like, I think they've got hundreds of warehouses. So just keep that in mind. The biggest flaw I find with Amazon AU, we're talking about FBA, is limited space. Like, I've emailed them multiple times, and I've said, hey, you know, I've got stock coming in. Can you increase my volume? Can you increase my storage? And Amazon sees it as a risk because they don't want to like stock all this product that they don't know it's going to sell, right? Which is understandable. They just look at it from a risk perspective. So they're only going to give you 300 standard items, and you can look up the standard sizes. Just look up Amazon standard size, and they're going to give you 100 oversized items. That's what you're going to start with, and you're not going to be able to increase that space unless you've got other sales record history, like from Amazon USA or something like that, or you get sales. Basically, that's the gist of it. So to increase this, you're just going to have to either keep the product somewhere else or just order small. And that's what I found. When you're ordering, like, you can't really grow your product lines until you have the space. So if you have multiple products coming in, you're going to be at a disadvantage because you know, you're not going to be able to store. You're not going to be able to send it to Amazon FBA. They're not going to allow you to. So that's something to consider when you first start your own product. Just start with one, and then like maybe do a different variation of it. But you're always going to be limited to what you can do, and that's going to stunt your growth. All right. So when you order from China, the space, like the volume, is going to be like, you know, when you go and say, hey, I want 500 pieces of this, you're going to get a better price. But you're not going to be able to send 500 pieces directly to Amazon. I wish you could, but you're not going to be able to because they're not going to allow it. So you have to then order either, you know, the 500 pieces and split it, send it to your house, or send it to your storage, like a storage facility, or keep it in your garage or whatever, depending on how big the items are, and then send like the 300 items to Amazon FBA. And that's one of the things you're going to have to consider, because like if you just buy small volume from China, you're not going to get a good price. So this is the biggest flaw I see it right now. They're trying to grow their business, and I get that they're trying to manage their risk, but they're not really helping FBA sellers who, you know, want to buy 500 or 1,000 pieces. In Amazon USA, basically it's unlimited. So you can just start bringing in massive volume, and they don't care. With Amazon Australia, they have limits, and that's one of the things that really kind of annoyed me. I'm still dealing with it because then I have to then, you know, pay for storage, and that's another cost, which is you have to incur. Another thing, what I found was that everything sells. I was stressing about some items that I couldn't sell, which were just really slow. And I recommend if they're really slow or they're just not selling, I would just basically just sell them off, like sell them at cost. It's going to sell because people are going to find those listings, and they're just going to buy the cheapest items. That's just how it is, right? There's going to be a certain amount of people. I mean, there's a lot of people on eBay that do that, but there's going to be a certain amount of people that still will just buy on price, and they see Amazon as just the place to get the cheapest price. So they will find your item, and if you sell it so cheap, it'll sell. Just trust me, okay? It'll take a little bit of time, but it'll sell. So don't stress too much if you've got a dud product. Just sell it off at cost and be done with it, all right? What I found also was there's hardly no refunds. Out of the 500 plus units I've had, there's like one refund, which is pretty amazing actually, because Amazon deals with all the refunds. You don't have to stress about it. They'll just handle everything, and it'll just show up in your back office. So that's one thing I found. yeah, hardly any refund. Maybe it's just my products, maybe it's just my product line. My products don't have many or don't have any moving parts. Like, the products are not going to break. Okay, so just the nature of my products. Maybe that's it, but I hardly got any refunds at all. A tip for you is to do some advertising outside or push some traffic, like when you're launching your product. So it doesn't have to be a big launch or anything. It's just like launching just means like, hey, you know, you got your new product and it's coming to Amazon. That's just like a launch. So just tell some people about it. Run Facebook ads, run it to like a Facebook group or a Facebook page and build some engagement. Run some traffic to it, run some engagement ads. Just get some people knowing about it. Tell your people in your inner circle if you want. But just get some people looking at the product. You can run some Google ads as well. So target inside Australia, because it's obviously Amazon Australia. Another thing I also did was post on Gumtree, free and paid. Even the paid, still like it's pretty cheap, like $6-7. Just run Gumtree ads and just get some exposure going, and just track it. So you can track it through Gumtree. Just use a service like Bitly, then you can see how many clicks. And also any type of free type of website out there that will allow you to, like in Australia, that will allow you to post for free. I'm not sure if Craigslist is still going, but just post on there as well. Any type of Craigslist type of website that's free in Australia, just post your product on there and leave a coupon, because you can create coupons inside and just say, hey, use this coupon and get like 10, 15, 20% off. At least it'll get people buying it initially, and that's going to start that's going to help you as you launch the new product. Amazon likes that. Another thing I also did was post in a Facebook group. So type in buy and sell, and there's tons of them. There's I found like 30 different Facebook groups. Make sure you read the rules and then just ask the admin, hey, is it alright if I post my new Amazon product? And I'll even leave a discount or leave a coupon. And then people will see that and they go, oh yeah, great. It's have your price low as well. Like when you first start, don't try to compete with other competitors, because you're just launching your products. Have it like really, really cheap to begin with to spark those initial sales. This is really important. It's a really important metric to consider. Your sales plus time and expenses. So again, like I mentioned before, the flaw with Amazon is they don't give you enough space. And if you have your business and you run your business like me, where I'm in Thailand, those expenses can add up. But if you're in Australia, just keep the stock in your house, so you can minimize your expenses. And here's the thing, like with sales and time, you have to basically, in my opinion, it's better to just sell it with not as much profit, because you want to turn the stock over. And by turning the stock over, you're going to get more reviews. You're going to get basically your listing is going to mature, and then next time you get your second lot in, then you can then your listing would have matured by then. So then you can maybe squeeze a little bit more profit, jack up your price a little bit more. But in my opinion, I would just initially on your first shipment, just try to get some profit. It may not be a lot, maybe 20%, 30%, or even not as much as you hoped. But the important thing is to turn it over and keep those expenses down. Until Amazon, really kind of allow new sellers to get 1,000 standard units and 300 oversized units, I think it's going to be a bottleneck for Amazon sellers when they first start. So again, I just talked about the turnover time to your reorder. So in my opinion, it's better to sell faster and make some profit than waiting a long time to get your desired price and money. Because when you first start off, you're probably thinking, I've got say $5,000 and I want to double that. But that realistically, that's not going to happen, because you've got so many things against you because you're just a new seller. Your listing isn't matured. You could get other sellers coming in trying to bully you away, dropping their price. So realistically, you're better off just selling as much as you can, as fast as you can, making some profit. Like, you'd rather make 25% profit in 3 shipments a year than just make 50% profit and have that stock sit all year in Amazon just to make 50%. I would rather make 25% profit and do 3 shipments and sell out within a couple of months than reorder. You know what I mean? So you're turning the stock over. Turnover is really important. I don't think many people realize, they've never had a business before, that turnover is very important, because you've got to have that cash flow. And also, Amazon's long-term storage fees are going to bite you, because after 365 days, they're going to start, it's going to cost you a fortune. So you're better off just turning the stock over. So every time you turn the stock over, it's like another 365 days, right? So you're good. You don't have to worry about long-term storage fees. Another thing too is you got to know your expenses. This comes down to just putting everything on a spreadsheet, or just having write it down in your diary, or know exactly what you're spending and what your expenses are, because that's going to bite into your profit. And again, going back to what I said about the Amazon storage fee, I can't stress this enough. If you have to get external storage, like me, it's going to bite into your profit, and you have to really control those expenses. So just when you first start, just wing it. Do it as cheapest way possible. Leave it into your basement or whatever. And even when you go and you have to replenish your stock, if you live locally, just put it in your car and go down to Amazon warehouse. Obviously have your labels done right as you normally would, right? You'd have your labels on the exterior, so that when they scan it, they know exactly who it is. That's just mandatory. But you actually go, I'm not sure, I've never actually done it, but I'm pretty sure you can just put it in your car and just drive down to the docks, the warehouse, and say, hey, I'm here to drop some shipment off, and then they'll just scan it. I'm pretty sure you can do that. Just to save fees, you gotta do it as least way possible when you first start, because initially you want to start making profit and not keeping those expenses down. So this one here, why is item session percentage really important? This is really important. I don't think many people know about this one. So basically, it's the conversion. It's how many people visit your listing as opposed to how many buy. And Amazon tracks this very carefully, and not many people, maybe they're not aware of this, they don't know. See, what happens is Amazon knows which product it'll show and how many people will buy it. So in other words, if they know the product that has the highest session percentage, they're going to show that product. You know what I mean? Their game is to make money. So if your product has a session percentage of 2%, and then your competitor has exactly the same product, but their session percentage is, say, 10%, Amazon's going to show that product first over yours in the listing, because they're going to make more money. They have a 10%, he or she has a 8% more chance, more than you, because yours is at 2%. Theirs is at 10%. Okay? So this is really important. And how you do this is basically you have to optimize your listing. So your listing has to be good. Primarily your photos have to be good. So your photos are basically the main influencer in the actual product. All right. So get really, really good photos. And if you've got really, really good photos, because it's the highest determining factor, your order item percentage, or the order item session percentage is what they call it, it's going to increase. And then Amazon will start to favor your listing over other listings when people type in the keyword search. All right, that's really important that not many people know about. So take the time to do a really good listing, get some super awesome photos, That's the biggest determining factor of a buyer. So the bottom line, to be successful in Amazon, you have to start out with a killer product. Your product has to be like awesome. It just has to be amazing. That's it. It's like 90% of the product will determine your success. Like if you come in with like a really good marketing, we have like a product that is a dud, or it's just not the right product, it's just going to fail, and you do everything else right, marketing, photos, listing, you do everything else right, it's not going to work. But if you come in with like a really awesome product that is either unique or is new or is no one's ever seen it before, or it's a spin-off of something else, or it's so much better than the marketplace. Like, you could have a crappy listing, you could have crappy, not as good photos, and everything else could be crappy, but it could still sell like gangbusters, because it's all about the product, guys, right? It's about the product. The product is what sells. If you make bad product choices, like I have in my Amazon business, I won't lie, okay? It's not going to sell. You're going to have problems. You're going to compete against the next seller. So make sure it's unique. There's different ways that you can make it unique. I talked about this in my last video on Amazon. You basically got to build a moat around it. Okay, so when you build a big moat around your listing for your product, it's going to be harder for people. Just think of you in the middle. You're the castle in the middle, and you got a moat around, and other sellers are trying to get over to get your listing, right? To steal that spot that you have in Amazon, because you're the number one spot. Your product is awesome. See, if you make your product awesome and you make it really hard, both like you've gone and done the research and development on the material, the design, better packaging. You've either got an existing product and you've just like bundled it better. You've got standard better images, better listings, all that stuff. You build a bigger moat, and a competitor is not going to come in and just try to do everything you can, because it's too much work. See, so if you spend and focus like 90% of your efforts on making the product awesome, then you're just going to dominate that space. And this is what I don't see sellers doing. This is what I didn't do in the first place. I just like, I'm just going to take an existing product, I'm going to make like a better, change the color, or change the packaging, or do these little things. It doesn't build a big enough moat. The competitor, for you to take over your listing, they're going to have to go through all the things that you did, and most people will not want to do that. So the harder it is, the better it is. That's going to work in your favor. See, it's not a disadvantage. It's an advantage for you. It's just your mindset and the way you see it. So I think so far, Amazon Australia is still unique. It's still new. They don't have the competition of Amazon USA, all right? Because it's a different game getting played on Amazon USA. It's all about design, unique products and everything. It's getting so competitive there, although you can still make money. But in Amazon Australia is relatively new. It's basically, we don't have the competition as much. It's starting to appear. But if you want to succeed with it, you have to have a really, really awesome product, and has to be unique, or has to be better than everything else in all the things I just mentioned. Otherwise, you're going to find it very, very hard, and you're just going to compete on price. So if you've come this far, this is like the strategy that I would use in 2020. Okay, so let's get into that. This is the way I would start off if I was going to do it again, and this is what you should do in 2020. What you want to do is you want to order like 5 to 10 products to test first, and so you want to do your research first. So look on eBay, look on Amazon USA, just look on all these different sites that have products that are trending. Use Google Trends, and just find out what's coming up or what's hot. And then what you want to do is you want to go to Amazon, Australia and have a look at the competitors. Type in the main keyword and just see what's there, see what the price point is, and then you better figure out, like, from there, what sort of items that you can get in Alibaba or AliExpress. Then you want to then just order small units. Just say 10 pieces. Go to AliExpress or even go to Alibaba and look at, and then just order like 10 pieces, and then get a price to send it directly to Amazon Australia. All right. Then do your listing, get the photos from the manufacturer and say, hey, can you take some photos for me? They'll do it. Or if they've got some existing photos, just use those existing photos. Make sure that they're at least 1500 by 1000 pixels. Okay. And then make sure that the primary image is just at least white. All right. And just test out the image first. Test out the product first and test out the price points. I found a product like this, exactly like this, and I was just playing around with it. Had a look on Amazon Australia. Then I just ordered it from AliExpress. The small volume of Alibaba. I just got them to send it directly to the Amazon warehouse. So just tell them you want a price landed to the warehouse, and they will know, because they would have dealt with other Amazon sellers. And then get the product into Amazon. They'll just send it. You don't have to worry about any logistics or anything like that. They'll send it. It'll appear in your Amazon list back office, because you've got to send them the barcodes and everything to put on the outside. And then a couple of weeks it'll show up, and then the listing will go live. And then if you've got 5 or 10 of them out there, you're going to see which sells. And see, you can speculate all you want. You can use tools like eGrow, which is highly inaccurate. Definitely would not use that tool. That tool is garbage. All right, I'm just telling you now. That's just my honest opinion. See, it's going to give you predictions of what sells in volume. It's inaccurate, but what you got to do is you got to figure out what actually works, and the only way to do it is to get 5 or 10 products that you feel that are trending, that are going to sell. Put it up on Amazon Australia and see what sells. Test the different price points. You're going to find that maybe 1 or 2 of them take off. Then now you've got real data. You know that this product is actually really good, and you never would have known about that if you didn't test it. Then you go and order a bigger volume. I wish I would have done this in the first place, because then I would just know straight away what to buy. Instead, I didn't do this. I just used a tool like eGrow, which gave me inaccurate data, and then I made buying decisions based off that. That's the biggest mistake I've ever done. So once you test the products, you know what's hot, what's on fire, then order the larger volume from Alibaba. And last tip, I would get the Chinese supplier to send it directly to Amazon. Now obviously you've got this problem of the storage, but just order like 300 pieces to start off with, okay? And do DDP, okay? Duties paid, DDP, and they're going to sell it. They're going to give you the one price, and they're going to send it. You just pay them, and they're going to send it directly to the warehouse. You don't have to worry about anything, all right? And when you do it through Alibaba Trade Insurance, because if they don't deliver, then you can then lodge a dispute and get your money back, okay? So do DDP. Don't use like an outside broker. It's just, the costs can be way more, even though you think that it's going to be cheaper. Just do this on your first time. So this is my strategy that I would do for new sellers in 2020. I hope you got some value from this video. I mean, I just try to make this video like as raw as possible. I'm not trying to hype anything about Amazon Australia or anything like. I don't know what's up with my hair today. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I need a haircut. This is like me from the trenches. This is like a seller from the trenches, and the real challenges that you do face when you're doing Amazon Australia. I will say though, it's not all roses, okay? I still think it's a really good business model. Like I just wake up in the morning and I look at my phone and there's sales, and that's the most awesome thing about it. But to get to that point, realistically, you got to have at least a minimum $5,000 to $10,000. Like, I'm just being 100% real with you. There's a lot of videos out there and people saying, oh, you can start off with $1,500. Just BS, guys. Don't believe them. And to get to this point, like, it's taken me ages. I started a long time ago doing research, and I procrastinated a lot of the times because I wasn't sure what's gonna work. So it is a real business, and it is it is kind of boring because, like, once you get your products in, it's just like there's really nothing to do. Like, that can be a good thing and a bad thing about it. It doesn't excite me as much as other things that I do online, if you want to put it that way. But like, passively, like, it's awesome. It's just like the money just keeps on coming in. So it is a real business. You are gonna have to set up real company. You have to watch your expenses. You're gonna have to invest time and money into this. It's not gonna happen overnight. You're gonna have to be patient, but the rewards are there. And 2020, Amazon's only gonna get bigger. So I want to keep on pursuing with Amazon. I do like it. And I hope I give you some insights on what it really takes to be a successful Amazon seller. All right, so I hope you got some value from that. If there's something that I didn't cover or I skipped over, you want to know more information about it, just leave a comment and I'll do another video on it. Because there's a lot of things that that I kind of could have just glossed over that I could have forgotten. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next update, which could be a couple of months. We'll just see, right? So I really need to get a haircut. I'll see you guys later on. Have a good day.